It's hot, there's churros, and there's tennis. I am finally talking about Challengers. If you missed the Challengers hype train when it came out last year, I'm gonna give you a quick brief about it. So it's a movie about tennis that's also not about tennis, and it follows Tashi, played by Zendaya, as a tennis player turned coach who is this kind of integral part of this three-person dance between competition, burnout, and living vicariously through others. This movie really piqued my interest, honestly, when I saw it was directed by Luca Guadagnino, because every movie I've ever seen that he's done, I've really liked so far, so I was really excited to see this one. Combine that with Zendaya, and I knew I was in for something really special. So now I usually like to talk about the visuals of a movie first, and those are great. But today I actually really want to discuss the soundtrack, because you can't talk about this movie without talking about it. So the soundtrack was done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and this is a movie that I feel is a great example about how music in movies is necessary, and just how much that plays into the viewer's emotions and experience. So every time the drama or action starts, it starts to ramp up. You get this like fast-paced EDM sort of club style music that comes into play, and it really works its way through your system, and you find yourself immersed in the scene mainly because of the music. You feel like you're the tennis player. The music kind of makes you feel Tashi's passion for the game as it heats up more and more. And I feel like when people discuss movie soundtracks, this is going to need to be brought up as one of the greats, because it is so powerful, and because without it, I don't think the movie would have hit the same. This music is almost a character in itself, just because when you feel those beats coming in, you get excited and you get heated up too. And I think it just shows just how important it really was for this movie to be as good as it was. Now, the other aspect of this movie that I really liked is that while this movie is hot and erotic, it's also passionate, and it's a sort of passion that kind of spreads from the love of the sport to a more carnal love of competition. This feeling of coming alive when something that you want is within your reach, but you still have to do the work to get it. And I always love movies where we see people get so passionate about something that it's all consuming, because I thoroughly believe that's something that we all have inside of us, but we don't necessarily get many opportunities to let it out in the real world. And movies are kind of our way of letting our fantasies come out, and this movie does that. It lets us feel that energy. So overall, for me, this movie was an absolute 10 out of 10. I loved it. I thought the ending was absolutely perfect, and it just managed to really hit a certain like serotonin spot in my brain. And as someone who's not a sports person, this movie goes so far beyond that. You don't need to be a sports person to watch it, because like I said, it's a tennis movie that's also not necessarily about tennis.